Alright guys, you can see that James has already started the tour, and we have his Finding Nemo airplane, inspired by his grandchildren, on his wing spars there, or not spars, but his wing fences. He has taken the liberty to go ahead and put some material together here for the guys so that they can check everything out. And we'll show you here some of the things of interest that people may be wanting to take a look at as they come out here, and we talk about the Affordaplane, covering some updates here, the Light Sport plans, and of course we got the 3D drawing. Even have an Affordaplane coffee mug. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and spin around and we'll take a look.
Yeah, basically when I make my call to the tower, I'm going to be saying, you know, ultralight or slow flyer or something along those lines.
Guys, what do you think? Can we get an intro?
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, well, Jim here, Brian McDonald.
Where are you from, Brian?
I am from the Woodlands.
The Woodlands. And you, sir?
Yeah, Jim Beckman from Shirts, or San Antonio.
Jim Beckman from San Antonio.
And you know me, guys, Jim Rittenhouse, Houston.
And then, of course, you all know me, Terry Adair. And we're taking a look. It looks like Jim has finished up a lot of the painting on his airplane. Nemo inspired, as I said earlier, by his grandchildren. We'll walk through just a little bit here, and I'll show you some of the things Jim's done here with his level autopilot system. You can see his carbon fiber trim tabs that are handled for the autopilot and also to trim the airplane out. He's got lighting. There's his strobe. Here we have his cables for his tailplane and his cable for his lighting. Now you guys know that Jim actually modified his wings. You can see on his profile on the Affordaplane Ultralight Adventure Builders Group pictures of how he did his wing. Last time we were out here, we took some shots of the interior. He's got everything covered up and painted at the moment. From talking to Jim, I believe he's almost ready to put the engine on. And of course I'll have to be making another trip out here because he wants my assistance with that. There's his ailerons.
Radios, I've got it set up now. I made the brackets on my 3D printer for the handheld radios to go here. I've got two, the AC 750s. One on emergency frequency and then another on... Oh no, whatever. I'm going to use one for navigation, one for communication. I can, you know, it's easy to switch both of them to whatever you want. I think they also have all the ILS and glide slope and all that. You know, if I get in weather, I can put myself down on the ground.
That is just, see, now this is the first time I'm actually looking at, well, this is not traditional gear.
No, this is not Affordaplane gear. This is actually from the air bike. I added the torsional support part of this on here, and I'm debating on whether to put some cables from this bracket across, so that, you know, the way this is right now, if you look at it, any hard landing and the gear will spread. Yeah. So by putting cables on there, I can limit that.
The spread, how much
Right.
it spreads.
And the reason I went with this gear was, in my original thoughts, if I land in a field, that bar going across, I am very likely in the kind of fields I would land in to either hit a cluster of weeds, a rock, pothole. So I looked at that and said, I want something that's spread between to where I minimize my chance of flipping the thing over. Or you see my landing lights.
Landing
there.
lights.
Now, just so you know, when I land out on a field, sometimes I hit some of those dirt clods or those fire ant mounds. Plows right through them.
Can't
May I
plow.
take pictures?
Sure.
Thank you.
And I've got a racing seat on it. This tank is we'll call it a non-standard tank. If you ever come out and look at Mike Bookbinder's, he has one built as well, smaller. I think his is he did a 5-gallon or a.
I don't
Seven.
remember how many gallons it was, but I know it was like really inexpensive, and it was covered in the last meeting. So if you look at that video from the last meeting, you can see where he bought it from. It's like $150,
Oh wow!
all up, and it's a great tank.
Now I've got sending unit here, so when I plug in my iPad and everything will be displayed on
see
there
it.
electronically. I've got electronic dash, but I'm also going to put in the sight gauge like Terry did on his. I've got drain plugs underneath and vent over on the top, and of course on the other side you got the fill. So all that neat stuff. I'd actually hoped to have the wings mounted by the time you got here again, but I need probably another 3 or 4 days before I get the wings back on it and start hooking up all the control cables and safety cables.
And these are nifty little brakes and wheels.
Yeah, that's Black Max
Is it?
wheels and brakes set. These wheels are temporary. I'm going to wind up putting on the large wheels like Terry's got on his. Okay.
How tall are those wheels?
These are 13-inch. Terry's.
Mine are spec for 21 inches, but once you get them mounted and aired up, they're only about 18 inches tall.
How tall are
That's
these?
13 inches from the ground to the top of the tire.
Okay.
That's the spec.
Yeah, so the larger tire is definitely going to be significant change.
Well, it is also for
It's going
landing.
to bring you up away, probably from the ground.
Yeah. Now, notice also my tail wheel. It's not what's called out in the plans. I bought a larger wheel. My brother-in-law was building a Ford plane out in Uvalde as well. He and I got together, got the same spring and tail wheel on there. That's an industrial part with a 5-inch solid rubber wheel, which rolls significantly easier than the ones recommended. Everything else is just made, and I decided to, like on the rudder horn, you'll notice I've got the cables strung to that as well, and turnbuckles are something that, once I got started on this, because your cables will stretch over time and all that, heavily recommend that you add turnbuckles so that you can tighten things up as you need along the way. I didn't do it everywhere, but in places to balance out, like on the wing, I've got the cross bracing wires that go up. I've got a turnbuckle on the side. Well, here's one that's on the this one right here. Yeah, it's on this. It's on the short cable for one side and the long cable for the other. See the one that's
Oh, I'm actually looking at the aileron control, but then you've got, I'm not sure which.
oh, it's right here. So,
Yeah, it's
by
right here.
being able to adjust, that way I can adjust the wing forward and back on each side without having to turn buckle every cable.
Okay, this is an impressive looking bird.
Yeah, now, I have always flown left-handed, and what I've got on here, there's a control head that's going to plug on here that's also going to have this a joystick for my flight control system. So on here, I'll have buttons for trim tabs, autopilot,
Level system?
yeah. And it's called the iJoy head that goes on there.
That's cool. It's got neat stuff.
Yeah, the one that I'm doing, I don't even know if they produce it anymore, but people keep asking me about what it is. And I purchased it, man, probably
Oh, the Helios?
Helios.
Yeah.
It's called Helios. And it works great for instrumentation. You've got a pitot and a static port, and it uses Wi-Fi to transmit to your
Like your
tablet
plus, your hanger,
all your flight information.
your door faces
Works great
south,
for what it is.
so
Has a backup battery,
batteries coming in.
and then Level came out with theirs, and they included
This is
the autopilot stuff that he has installed up here. I don't think you can use that all this stuff much, but it's nice to have it. But yeah, a lot of folks ask me, what do you use? It is the Helios Sense is what it's called. But it's the same little box that Level has.
This is
And
just
I think Level even has one on his instrumentation as well. And works much in the same fashion. But if I'm being honest with you, the amount of times that I actually look up there, that I think is very slim. Very simple. I actually ended up using my
Garmin street map.
well, no, not a Garmin Street Map. It's kind of like a Garmin. It's kind of like a Garmin map, but it's a free version of Android app, and it puts up your tag
how
chart.
much work is it?
And you can pull the tag Wi-Fi and belt and flying out the way on that. And it gives you a resolution. But it puts your airplane right there where you're at. You can touch on the airport and it'll automatically shoot a
Single bolt front and back each
a
side.
line there for you. When you tell you to hit the
Attaches
line
here.
and how many
You
miles
got
you are from
strap
it.
that goes from
So
the back
it's real good for navigation. And it's free.
from the front.
And you don't
front
need
of the
anything
wing
extra.
line.
It
You
just
got
uses
three
the,
straps
it just uses all the drones that are in the pad and stuff all the summer on. And,
rear strap.
GPS and whatnot.
yeah,
You
it
got
just
the
uses
safety
everything
cables
that's in
that
there.
go on it. So
The only thing I think I ever really have an issue with is
the
compass sometimes. But I've got one of these right here, just like this one.
I would say it took
So it's kind of a backup.
about an hour to pull apart.
If you've ever noticed,
This thing.
like with your drones or anything like that, sometimes when you have to reset the compass, it'll say, hey, move your thing around in a figure eight.
Right, yeah, right.
So I've caught myself up in the sky sometimes trying to use that compass, flying around.
Right.
But really, for tactical flying, you really, it's not super necessary. It's all VFR.
Attachment points for the struts, bars, overlap. I've got towels here that keep things from scratching. And no matter what you do,
Yeah. Well, it's really, if you're gonna be flying in your
just the
backpack
act
stuff,
of
you know where you're getting ready to get back. And
something that
yeah,
needs
it's very easy to put where you can sign that.
Yeah, so it's always good for coats and
Well, I need to go east, so,
Pretty soon.
yeah. But, really, like I said,
We had one guy said, his first
Oh, now the red is easy. The gray line, the red on top of the gray line. I only use two coats on the
I have
elevator.
this engine system in mind, has a watch on it, so that whenever
You
you
just can't get enough
start
money
your
to
engine, you get a lot of
You
that.
try about spraying it instead
And you
of
can set it to where you want.
Yes.
I probably got maybe
Then you gotta pass
2
it.
hours.
I don't, the hangers aren't set up for.
So I'll set it for
Yeah, you
45
have to
minutes.
have it set.
And 45 minutes to go down.
I also use
If I've gone far enough
water.
away, then I know this is going to hit the back. Unless I'm going by fuel.
Unless you're in a booth set up for it, you got all the ones that are, you know,
I think he wants to put my belly.
even water-based stuff.
But,
Notice there's no sink or anything. Yeah. I have a cooler that keep water in.
But I just say, you don't mind what you go probably half the size of this.
So rushing it on.
I don't think I've ever flown and tried. You know, after about 45 minutes or so.
And really, I mean, the rest of us look good anyway.
And that gets some value from, their land, ocean.
I use the process where
I know a lot of guys
roll it on and
skydive.
Yeah. So I
Actually, sometimes I'll fly in there,
a roller.
hang out for an hour or so. cruise around the lake or over the space shuttle or something. You know, shoot that. Both of those trips are probably not more than about 20 miles, 15 to 20 miles out.
But here, just
Give me enough time to go out and play around.
what's it gonna look like from 500 feet? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And this is the same pilot before I got printed. If I ever make that flight, there's no way to tell them not to be.
Okay guys, we're going to shut down the camera for a little bit. I hope you guys have enjoyed us just hanging out. Of course, we're going to be here much longer, and if anything happens to come up, we'll turn the camera back on. If you're interested in more information, just go to our Facebook group, which is the Afford-A-Plane Ultralight Builders Group. You can find us there. If you're interested in attending one of our get-togethers, imagine our next one might be out at my hangar because I'm real close to going airborne, and I'd like the guys to be out there when I go. That might be this Saturday, but it will be posted on the group if anybody's interested in coming out. Like I said, just stay in tune with the group. If you have any questions, you can hunt myself or Jim or even Mike. Mike wasn't able to be here today. He's got some family stuff going on. But as always, keep building and come on by the Afford-A-Plane Ultralight Adventure Builders Group.
iPad Air that